Joe Biden is the most unimpressive, unpopular, and unwanted president in modern American history. Anyone who followed the 2020 campaign would not be shocked by this. The line at your local Chick-fil-A is longer than the line to get into any of Joe Biden's rallies. If you were one of 12 people who went to a Biden rally, you would have heard the future president's grand plans of mobilizing true international pressure.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
You'd also hear how it's your right to have bad health care.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Guys, listen, this is serious. Once we pass a constitutional amendment guaranteeing true international pressure and bad health care for all Americans, we will finally live up to the vision of our founding fathers. The data is in, okay? For real. And the most popular president in American history is also simultaneously one of the least popular presidents in American history. Weird. Rasmussen has Biden underwater at 48% approval after his first week in office. Didn't this guy get 80 million votes? How's that possible mathematically? The official White House YouTube video of Joe Biden's empty inauguration was so ratioed and trolled that the White House turned off the live chat and comment section. Strange thing to do, something Trump never did. That president actually loved free speech. It was okay to say something mean about him. The White House left up the dislike button, you can see. And that was a mistake. 80,000 dislikes. Woof. Less than 1 million views on that video? That is really weird. I thought that was supposed to be a historic event. Also, why did the most popular president ever need to be inaugurated under military occupation? Why is everyone turning on Joe Biden so fast? We have the answer. It's one word: betrayal. It's not often that a new president enters office and immediately betrays those who got him there, including his own faith. We'll give more on that in a moment. Many would call this unwise, but wisdom is not a trademark of the Biden era. The Biden era so far is a 78-year-old man wheeled out once a day to scratch a pen to a new stack of communist executive orders. Even that process has proven difficult. Watch. It's poor guy. You almost feel bad for him. But don't feel bad for him. He's our president. He's the most powerful man in the world. Don't let Sleepy Joe's bumbling demeanor disarm you. In that stack of binders are some of the worst, most damaging, most cruel executive actions in American history. With one stroke of a pen, Joe Biden killed thousands of American jobs for globalist clout. Find a new job. Tough luck, the Biden administration said. Check this out.
And the President of the United States has expressed in every comment he has made about climate the need to grow the new jobs that pay better, that are cleaner.
Harsh words from John Kerry, who still owns a private jet. Here's a photo of him on it. John Kerry's private jet, by the way, tons of carbon into the atmosphere. More than destroying American jobs, Biden is destroying his political base. Weird thing to do. The Joe Biden administration has refused to meet with Black Lives Matter's communists, their leaders, which, by the way, these are the same people who energize much of the flaccid Democratic base in an uninspiring election year. The group has lashed out about it online. They're not the only ones. An entire movement has begun based on regretting voting for Biden. The hashtag I regret voting for Biden trended on Twitter last week as thousands openly confessed that they regret who they cast their ballot for. As the executive orders dropped, Google search trends for regret voting for Biden skyrocketed. A young leftist woman posted this video as Biden began sleepily winning primaries last year. I think, by the way, she speaks for all Americans currently. It'd be funny if it wasn't so painful and accurate. And also, she has my dance moves. Think Biden is out for democracy or the rule of law? You think he's in favor of that? Look at his actions, people. Despite having a Democratic majority in Congress, Joe Biden is ruling by executive order, or as he described accurately on the campaign trail, a dictator.
The one thing that I have this strange notion. We are a democracy. Some of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
Okay, well, you think Biden is for his own executive orders? There are more than 40 of them. Biden doesn't even follow those. Biden signed an executive order mandating masks on federal ground, and on the same day broke his own order. There you go. And that's all of Biden's family. Do you see any of them wearing masks? Of course not. Of course not. They're in power. You are the little people. You are the people who follow rules. Think Biden is for his own religion? Whew. This is a tough one, guys. Take a moment to pay attention here. The video I'm about to show you is the perfect distillation of the Biden betrayal. We are a show here that respects religion. We know that believing in God is a force for good in the world. Data proves that. We would never, ever question anyone's faith. That alone is an issue between them and God. But when men who have devoted their entire life to the church speak out about Biden's betrayal of the church and their foundational principles, we believe that you deserve to hear what they have to say. We do not take clips like this lightly. Joe Biden professes to be a Catholic. Yet one of Biden's first acts as president was to order your tax dollars used to fund abortions around the world. Archbishop Joseph Naumann was brave enough to ask the question. He asked this question. He's the Archbishop of Kansas City, and this man speaks for millions of pro-life Christians and Catholics. Listen to what he had to say about Joe Biden's faith.
Well, it's a sad day for the nation, but it's a sad day particularly for us as Catholics to see a president who professes to be Catholic doing these things that are so contrary to our moral teaching.
Yeah.
It's his soul is in jeopardy, I believe. And you know, when they use euphemisms, when you're violating fundamental human rights, you use euphemisms. And so you say this is health care for the poor. What other health care procedure does two people go in, one comes out dead and the other one scarred? Emotionally, spiritually, and sometimes even physically. I mean, he's obviously in debt to pro-abortion forces within his party, and he's just conforming to them. I wish he was as orthodox in his Catholic faith as he is in doing what Planned Parenthood instructs him to do.
What a stunning clip. His soul is in jeopardy, the priest said. Joe Biden is only the second Catholic president in history. A betrayal of his principles, Christian principles, American principles. That is the sounding note of the Biden presidency thus far. This is not your grandfather's Democratic Party. The Democratic Party of the Christian traditional working class is dead, replaced by a woke, corporatist, globalist superstructure designed for one thing and one thing alone, protecting themselves and crushing you. America needs more young fighters, more